Hello, how are you? Very excited to be here. I'm very scared too. So let's do it. I'm Federico Ast, the CEO of Kleros.
And Clément Lesage, the CTO of Kleros.
Okay, let me tell you a story of Alice, who is an entrepreneur from France. And she hires Bob from Guatemala to build a website for her. So he builds a website, but she's not happy with the product. And so there is a dispute, right? And he doesn't want to give the money back. There's nothing that she can do. She's not going to go to Guatemala to sue him in court or find a lawyer. And arbitration methods that exist today are not good enough for this. And, you know, it's a big problem because there's a lot of disputes online. 5% of the transactions end up in disputes on average. And this is going to be worse because of the rising gig economy, more people working online for all the world. And also, you know, the crowdfunding market that's going to rise a lot more in the future. So how can Kleros help? Imagine that instead of paying the Bob directly, Alice puts the money into a smart contract, and they both agree that in case a dispute happens, Kleros is going to be the arbitrator, right? So a dispute happens, and so Kleros is a decentralized organization that's going to select a jury of arbitrators, of experts in website disputes in this case, and these guys are going to analyze the evidence, and they're going to vote who is right on this dispute. And let's imagine they vote that Alice was right, so the smart contract is going to trigger the payment to Alice, and so that's how the dispute is solved, and all the arbitrators are paid for their work, and case closed. So a very good question is how are the arbitrators selected, right? And a hint is Kleros means randomness in Greek. Imagine this user from, let's say, Tanzania, and he wants to make some extra money. He's a website developer and wants to make some extra money by arbitrating disputes. And so to be selected as a juror for these disputes, he needs a token that's called Pinakion, an ERC20 token. The name comes from the token that the ancient Greek used to select jurors for their popular trials. So this user has to stake the token into a court of freelancing website disputes. And then imagine there is like 3,000 users that stake the token. And so the Kleros is going to select a bunch of them. So the token is like a right to be selected as juror for a dispute. So, important question, how are going to the arbitrators be incentivized? Because the big problem could be that so they just send the dispute and they just vote randomly, and so they just to collect money and they don't do the real work. And Kleros is based on the Schelling point principle from game theory. Basically, this is a quite complex explanation, and we can go into that in the Q&A if you want. But basically, the main takeaway is that honest arbitrators will make money on average by arbitrating honestly. And users trying to game the system are going to lose money on average by trying to game the system. So where do we see this working? Well, we see Kleros becoming a decentralized dispute layer for all the blockchain economy. Now, we have people building lots of platforms, for example, for naming of websites, for commerce, for sharing economy. And all these platforms are going to have disputes among their users, right? And they are not building the dispute resolution mechanism. So we say, why don't all the platforms from the decentralized economy that are being created now, why don't they just like outsource the arbitration to Kleros? So we see Kleros as a protocol that is going to solve all the disputes of this new blockchain economy that is growing now. But not only blockchain, right? Kleros has applications in the world of today. For example, we have already started working and discussing with local governments to use Kleros to save money into transit tickets for transit judges. Small insurance claims can be solved by Kleros much faster and cheaper. And lots of small claims in disputes like telecommunications, credit card companies, and so consumer disputes can be solved by Kleros too. Basically, the segment that we think we can attack is high volume of disputes of low value. That's where like courts, they don't go, and where the arbitration that exists today is too expensive and too slow. This is a short video of our proof of concept. We have a prototype. So this is the interface the juror sees. So the juror has analyzed the evidence, and so now he's voting for one of the parties. So you see it working like MetaMask. So 20-second video. You can try it. It's online. You can use it if you want. It's not very pretty looking because it's a proof of concept, but it will get better, of course. So founders, we have done things before. So we are a very cross-discipline team with experience in business and game theory and also blockchain and smart contract development. And we are a team of 9 working on this for a year. We have been working on Kleros. 9 people of like 7 countries. So let's blockchain decentralize. So in the future, we're starting to do tests of our product in coming months with our partners in Protocol, that's in e-commerce platform, and Ether, that is an exchange of cryptocurrency. So we're going to start testing the platform with these partners. And also, we were accepted by Thomson Reuters Incubator to start studying uses of Kleros in the real world, right? In the customers they already have. So, and explore the possibility of starting to build Thomson Reuters products on top of Kleros protocol. So that's very excited piece of news that just came out last week. Token sale. Okay, so as we are innovating in justice and putting arbitration in the hands of everyone, we also are innovating in token sales. As you know, for some time, token sales are, like, people understand that they are broken. A couple of months ago, Vitalik, Jason Teuch, and Christopher Brown suggested a new method of token sale called interactive coin offering. That's basically a different way of distributing the token that allows for each participant to select a personal cap, and so they can choose how much they want to, if the amount raised is above that cap, so the participant can be refunded. So each person can choose the cap, and it's useful for putting people, all the participants, on equal footing, being big buyer or small buyer, so they can all have the same chance of having the token, which is consistent with the values of our project. And another innovation that we are using into the cloud sale is that we're not going to sell all the coins at the beginning, so we are going to start doing a number of rounds as we can show progress on the product. So there are some milestones that you can see here, and so we're going to do the sales as we can deliver on them. So when does the token sale start? Actually, in May 15. And, oh, that's like today. The first round of token sale of Kleros is going to start. And not only Kleros, so the first interactive coin offering of all time is going to start right now. So are you ready to be part of blockchain history? Guys, Kleros token sale is now open. Welcome to join. Thank you.
If there are any questions from the judge,